What up, y'all? It's your boy Lavetti Vegas, aka Luigi Vegas, for this particular episode, man. It's the part 2 Halloween episode. We were just talking to Terrance about his karaoke. We was also talking about some other stuff, but you know, I can't really say nothing because I'm pimping, so I can't talk about the girl I'm talking to, man. But hey, man, we got everybody, man. We got Gabby, we got Terrance, we got Rod, man, and we all dressed up. We all doing the. Come on, man. Leave Gabby. Man, she finally got her name, man. Let her.
That was the second test. That was the second test.
Ain't no more tests, man.
Wanted to test.
Ain't no more tests, man.
Sorry, Luigi.
It's my cousin.
I was gonna say, I promise her name is Gabby. Gabby Dammkoehler.
And a Y.
But we got some fantastic food. We got some boom boom shrimp with some house-made boom boom sauce. We got some corn nuggets that these two never had, and I put them on it. I know they like it. And then a staple, the chicken bacon ranch pizza. I didn't bring chicken because I felt like it would have been a little racist, so it just sprinkled in on the dishes right here. Bam.
Well, not BI nonsense. It's 2 B's and Y.
We just derailed it to have fun.
Sorry.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I don't know.
I'm ready to go jump in the tunnel.
Rodney was talking about Love Shack.
Yeah, I was
Hate
Reminds
that
me.
song.
I don't know. How do you hate Love Shack?
Oh, God, I saw you.
You hate Love Shack too?
I mean, it's a
Do you
little
think
annoying.
that every time Shaq signs a letter, Love Shack, he gets it stuck in his head?
Oh, stay woke. I never even thought of it that way. Wait a minute.
you
Shaq
think
has
you
been under
just-
some fire anyway, too, to talk about.
B-52?
I never thought of that, but she brings up a great point.
Dude, that song, it triggered me.
moment
I'm
he signed
activated.
Shaq.
Love Shack,
Please.
baby.
And the song is 15 minutes long, too.
It's so
Why,
long.
it's longer than Bohemian Rhapsody almost. Like, why is this song this long?
I don't know. The B-52s are just going for it.
That's the problem. I'm kidding.
What's going on?
Sorry about that. We had a karaoke
You're not a
rant.
big disco fan.
I'm not a big disco fan, though.
Disco.
I love ABBA as
ABBA's
disco.
the best.
ABBA's the best of all the disco.
Oh,
Bee
and
Gees are
Earth,
up
Wind,
there.
and Fire.
And Earth, Wind, and
I
Fire.
went to one of their concerts recently. They were opening for Lionel Richie.
Really?
Such a fun time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Good time.
Sorry about that.
How old are y'all, man? Hold on, man, because you look 20,
23.
23. You look,
Guess.
yeah, you
I
look
would
about
have given
38.
you 24, so I wouldn't try that.
31.
30.
Damn, I was going to say
I was
27.
going to say 38.
Say 26.
31.
Or I would have said 27.
30. I was thinking 38.
Skincare routine.
You're around my age, though, right?
Maybe.
I'm 38. You 35, 36, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, he's around there.
What you think?
Yeah, you're around there. I know it.
What you going with?
Nothing. I'm just wondering, man. Because I started this. I saw a gray beard hair the other
Hold
day.
on, man. I ain't never had no.
No, I talk about me, and so I
saying.
got my own feelings hurt. And I was like,
man.
just to add insult to the injury, because it was literally right after the bad gig that I talked about. I looked in the mirror, check out my eye, and then I saw a gray beard hair, and I was like, oh hell no! Like,
I've seen it in the video, to be honest with you.
you see, it's just hurtful, man. Like,
Yeah, you know. they
age
say-
and time is getting me, man.
I'm forever 25. You know what I mean? I'm one of them people. I'm forever 25.
Man.
Even though the other day, man, some girl said she thought I was 26, and I was like, you know what? If that's what you think, just give me your number. You know?
Okay.
just if that's what you. Hey, if that's what we're rolling with, you know. Just
Now, on the topic of bad
throw it.
gigs, you were talking about right before we got on, somebody from the Kill Tony show got on air and said some less than. I'm gonna let you intro it though. Like you can set the scene.
no. Terrance was talking about
No,
that.
I was actually curious, man, because speaking of bad sets, like Rod said, it appears Tony Hinchcliffe from the Kill Tony show, if y'all ain't familiar, it's a live form podcast where he draws names out of a hat or something to get people on stage.
Boom, boom.
And they come up and they do 1 to 2 minutes of stand up. And if they do well, he applauds them and then he talks to them afterwards because they do like a quick interview afterwards. But if they do poorly, in his eyes, they get roasted.
And I mean, go in.
And it's in a comedy club, so, you know, things fly off the shelf, they fly out the mouth and everything. But at the Republican National Convention or a Trump rally, one of the things, I think it was actually just a Trump rally, I don't know.
They're all
but
rallies, yeah.
Hinchcliffe was hosting and making jokes, and he ended up referencing floating island of garbage and then stated that was Puerto Rico, among other offensive perceived offensive jokes. I won't say one way or another. And I'm curious, y'all, what are your thoughts on that type of?
Yeah, I mean, it was just terrible, man. That was just really bad. It was bad. You know, I actually just visited Puerto Rico not too long ago, man. Big shout out to my boy Mono for hosting the biggest gaming convention down there. It's called First Attack. And he had me out there for the 3rd year in a row. And the country is anything but that. You know, it's, I mean, it's beautiful. It's rich in culture. The food is amazing. The scenery is great. I mean, it's a part of America. So I mean, to speak so illy, especially to be a part of the right-wing party where you bleed America, to say something like that about Puerto Rico, I feel like it's just an oxymoron. It's a fallacy within itself. That is a part of the country. You don't need a passport to go there. You just need an ID, which is something they're so big on. You got to have an ID to be in this country. Well, how else do you get to Puerto Rico from the States? You got to have one. So where are these issues coming from? Floating island of garbage?
Yeah.
Not even remotely close. It is the complete opposite of that.
What about you, Gabby?
Well, if you're going to mock any part of the U.S., mock Ohio, first off.
Fair.
Ohio deserves it.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
just cause.
Have you ever been to Cleveland? It deserves it.
It's not great.
But they did beat Baltimore. But yeah,
I
please.
don't know. Is that a sports?
Yeah, I was just. I was,
LeBron from
I was nerding out. Yeah.
I don't sport.
You don't know LeBron?
He's a basketball guy.
See, she knows sports. Bam.
And you knew Shaq?
Yeah, I knew
Yeah, I knew
Shaq.
Shaq.
I'm a big rugby fan.
Heck yeah.
All right, so this is tonight's episode. What's going on?
Wrap it up. It was nice meeting y'all.
He said basketball guy.
No, but as you're saying,
My bad. Keep going about Ohio and how bad they are. And you barely know who LeBron James is.
He was in the Space Jam reboot, right?
He was in
Bam.
Space Jam
Yeah.
too. Got him.
Space Jam
She's seen
2.
Space Jam 2 before you've seen the Mario movie.
Yeah. See?
damn, that is hurtful.
And I
Yeah, you
don't
were in
even
that
like
movie.
the Looney Tunes that much.
Yeah, out of here. Sorry, go on. I'm sorry.
That's all that just came in my head when you just said that, man.
Space Jam
That was
thing.
I was
terrible.
gonna go like this. It just died.
Man. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, no.
Where's Mario? All right. Keep. Why you call me out like that, bro, man? I mean, come on, man. Why you
I feel like comedy
keep
can be used as a weapon and that you should target people who deserve it, you know? Like, if you're gonna mock a group of people, mock the people who suck, like Nazis. They deserve all the hate,
Right.
you know? Like, and why be racist when there are so many things that are actually funny, you know?
That's
I
right.
think it's, just don't be a dick.
But that's
Am I even allowed to say that? Am I allowed to
Yeah.
say
yeah.
Don't
already
be
said.
a dick. Yeah,
Go
like,
back now.
She repeated it.
Yeah, no, seriously, I mean, you are 100% right. I think to say something so ignorant about a country like Puerto Rico, I mean, really to say it about any country, but for one like Puerto Rico, which again, I can't stress enough, it's just it's an oxymoron. It's like, how?
But he did.
Does it make sense?
But he did that because he. That's that. If you watch Kill Tony, that's the type of stuff they do.
Yeah.
They be trying to push those boundaries, man. So maybe he thought that was an audience, whatever. Not saying it's right or wrong, but he did that because that's what they do.
Yeah, he knew
I
it
mean,
would generate revenue.
Like I said, I mean, it was a guy on there that that had the George Floyd joke on there. You know what I mean? But that's the type of stuff they be doing.
A lot of people are content
So,
brain too. Like if
yeah.
you know that whatever you say will generate buzz, especially I could think that started out as an internet show, then it transpired into a streaming show. So people who are internet pilled have a completely different outlook on like creating art and stuff.
But he ain't going nowhere. Let's be honest. We people about to be mad for 2.5 seconds.
Well, I think
he
you
ain't
made
gonna get canceled.
I think you made a good point, though, man. Like people are going to sit here and talk, but most people are still going to fight for an opportunity. To be on the show.
Every comedian, if somebody was like, "Hey, you want to be on Kill Tony?" We all taking that shit.
I mean-
let's be honest. We gonna be mad like, man, that was wrong what you said, man. But I appreciate you inviting me,
they're
man.
not
Yeah,
even going to do it openly, right? But and that'd be the crazy.
Yeah,
I think that's-
people are. I'm not gonna say it's fake outrage, it's real outrage. But these comedians know they still jumping on there. They still gonna do their 1 minute. They still gonna hope to get the golden ticket. They gonna
but
still hope for all
but
that.
there's so many, and again, this isn't a shot at Kill Tony because I've only seen a couple episodes, but I feel like there's so many other platforms for a comedian to do their thing. Now, of course,
That's my issue.
there's so many other platforms, and Kill Tony is great. I mean, but we've had comedians from here that have made it to Wild 'N Out and all other sorts of, really awesome shows.
But that's but when you number one, you know what I mean. He's the number one. That's that number one platform. It's just like if you, like, perfect example or crazy example, like Marlon Wayans. He never hit 1 million doing an interview ever.
And he did
You know what I mean?
the Vlad joint, then he did the
No,
Club
no,
Shay
well,
Shay
he
joint.
did the Vlad, but it was a long time ago. It was never released. So then Vlad turned him down because he wanted like 40K or something like that, and Vlad said he's not worth 40K or something.
Okay.
Because he can't hit 1 million views. But then when he went to Club Shay Shay, he got 1 million views. But did he get 1 million views because it's him, or did he get 1 million views because it was Club Shay Shay? It was because it was Club Shay Shay. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
so when you get to the best platform, you're gonna get the best results.
Well, I
You
also
see
think
what I'm
too,
saying?
Club Shay Shay, not to change it too much, is a platform that's heavily built around the narrative behind something, as opposed to who the people actually are. Now, of course, he hasn't had a bad guest since the show's inception at all.
No.
But think about every guest that has been on there, where there's been Mark Cuban, of course, infamous Cat Williams interview, Marlon Wayans. There's always a story up underneath him. I think the most prominent one for me was the Amanda Seales one. You know, she was she's always been painted as being difficult to work with, which I don't think she is at all.
Yeah, me neither.
But you know, he made sure that the questions weren't like antagonistic, but he had like they were more direct, more clear, more concise questions. That she didn't have the level of banter with him that he's had with other guests, and so he knows what he's doing. Basically, to round it all out, it's like the Kill Tony thing. They know what they're doing.
And so that's my issue with it. Is as a defender of free speech, as somebody who genuinely cares about comedy, like. You have to have the freedom to create.
Yeah.
That should give you space. Mm-hmm. However, there's also a time and place in a venue for that. And I feel like
it needs nuance.
It needs nuance. And honestly, any sort of, and honestly, I don't care who the candidate was. It could have been for the other political side of the aisle, on the Democratic side. Mm-hmm. It could have been on the independent. It's ill-placed.
Yeah.
To me, that's not the venue for speaking publicly and getting anything out with that. Because if you've been doing comedy long enough, and especially as somebody who, I don't seek the edge or the edginess, but I don't shy away from it, because if I can find it, I like to sprint up to the line and then stop dead.
Yeah.
It's fun for me.
It's fun.
Just
it's adrenaline rush.
Do it. It's fun, right? Where can I go without crossing that line? That's usually where I think a lot of funny is. That's where a lot of artistic leeway is. But the problem with that edgy comedy is not everybody truly gets it.
No, because some people take it serious.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And the other aspect of that is within that party specifically, there's already an open assumption, an open whatever label, however you want to look at, to where they lean towards the racism, the sexism and stuff. And when you do that sort of thing, you open the door for that further. And I think that's foolish. If you want to unite people, you want to make people come together under this one thing, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
That's the unfortunate reality, right? Like, that's where they kind of shot themselves in the dick, because we can say that here. But I just want to see Lavetti's face. He's like, oh, I don't know about all that. But
no, but you are 100% right. It opens up the door.
She just said it. I don't know why.
What?
No,
I could say damn.
no.
Said it again.
I'm kidding.
I'm joking.
Like I was like a mean guy.
It's one time I went to a show where they had I don't know if I can say it, but the F word limit. There's a limit to how many times you can say the F word.
Once
I get started, I'm not
zero F word limit.
How about
Zero limit?
No, we don't do.
Well, I'm not gonna
It's
say
a couple
it.
F words out there.
Well, we did have somebody that was supposed to do an all clean comedy show and did nothing but, really, really dirty sex jokes and a lot of F bombs, if you remember, and it was fun.
When was that?
You remember?
Did we air that episode?
You remember? We got love for her, man, but it took a turn.
Yeah, I think comedy, like the art of public speaking, kind of opens up a door in a way. It's like of all the art forms or of all the anythings out there, there's always one that's a little bit more transferable than the other. So like, for example, smoking weed is a universal thing. I don't do it because my anxiety and the ghost won't let me do it, but some people do it, and it's a sign, it's an act of camaraderie. It opens up the door for conversation. And I think comedy, public speaking, the art to public speaking is very dangerous. Historically, we have seen it. Some of the best performers on the planet, prolific speakers, prolific performers, and they can get their way. We've seen it used for good, and we've also seen it historically used for very, very bad things. And I think comedy is one of those things where you have to just be careful on how you do it and what you say, because in a tense room, like I'd imagine the Republican convention, wherever it was, there's a level of tenseness where you're like, okay, somebody funny is going to come in and ease this. It depends on what they're saying and how they ease that tension. Right. And that comedy, everybody's like, so how do you feel about Puerto Rico? We're here to say some really messed up stuff. It's a floating island of garbage. Yeah, somebody and now they're like, this is our guy. He must feel this way because he's a professional public speaker.
Right.
And I just feel like, again, for all of us who are in the comedy space, just have to watch what we say at times.
Well, not only that, man, like there's just more creative ways to be like funnily racist or sexist or whatever, man. Like I've heard it, like there's better ways of going about it. I don't try to do it that way.
Sure.
But I've heard dudes do it, like, okay, that was pretty creative. I can give you some kudos to that.
Yeah, there's just better ways. And I think, again, as a public speaker, it is your duty to figure out better ways to get to the joke. Depending, if you have a 10-minute set, you got a little bit more time to get to those jokes. You have a 5-minute set, sometimes you got to, boom, just go right in.
Yeah.
But it just really depends on the environment and kind of like the ingredients you're given for the evening. And I just think for him, that was too big of a platform and just like too, I guess, politically raunchy of a set to do.
Too raw, yeah.
Yeah, just too much.
Way too raw.
Yeah.
Because like words have power, you know.
They
You gotta
definitely
use it
do.
Carefully, you got to think about it.
They do. They do. They most certainly do.
Pause.
Yeah, and but again, there's other platforms, and I think it's important, especially for all of us as Nebraska, natives. I think we're all from Nebraska, right? Or not Nebraska natives, but people who are stationed here. I'm sorry, people who
live in here.
People who live here. Just to understand that there are more outlets for us. I mean, I'm never going to do a gig there, but the goal is to be big enough to do gigs at that level in different environments. Like, I can't stress enough, we have people who have done Wild 'N Out. We've had people who have done all these great things who are writers for shows now. I mean, you guys got your own show here. This is huge. It might not seem like it in the grand scheme of things, but you guys have your own platform to talk how you want to talk. And you beautifully just said a moment ago, we don't drop the F word here. Just a little bit of just a preface before he got on would have been good. Like, hey, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're not talking about. But the fact that there was no preface, let him know he can go up there and just say whatever. Nobody warned him.
And like I said, the problem is when you're already associated with that, you ain't doing nothing but welcoming more of that.
That's it.
And then you can't convince me that you want to unite people
No.
when you're not taking little things like that to heart.
Right.
And understanding how easily it can be manipulated.
You can't say you want to unite people while actively dividing people. That's,
Right, like,
that's antithetical.
Yeah, if everybody was there and it's like a closed session that doesn't get leaked out or whatever, and everybody agrees like, okay, we're making fun of this thing, we're gonna have fun, and we'll get raunchy with it. All right, have at it.
Have at it.
But this is an open window into what people really think or how you view life, how you perceive the world, and how you live about it. That's a problem.
It wasn't the Comedy Central roast of like William Shatner,
Right.
Justin Bieber. Like, this was something that was going to be cemented in history books for years to come. And it's very strange. But there definitely were people at home that were just like, look, honey, look, he said what I'm thinking. He said that Puerto Rico, you see, somebody gets it, It's like,
Feeling that you sounded like me right there.
Yeah, why you sound like a white guy, man?
Lot of improv.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a little racist.
No, a lot of improv.
Like
but somebody at home felt like that, though, for sure.
Let's move on.
Wait, did you say there's a roast of William Shatner?
There was a Comedy Central roast of William Shatner. It was one of the later
I
ones.
love Star Trek.
Oh, they tore him up.
Yeah, you gotta go back to 2009.
They tore him
It's been
up.
a while back.
It's been a while. Speaking of roast, man, do y'all do those? Is that something
I
you're
want to
into?
get on one, but I haven't been invited yet.
You gotta ask.
Yeah, you just gotta
I
ask.
asked, but I don't know.
Who you ask? Who you
I
ask? So we
asked
can.
Bree Calhorn.
Oh, she's great at roasting, too.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think she might have like a lot booked up right now. So
Okay.
Yeah.
We do them in the rap stuff, if you don't mind getting up there. We do it in a show called Getting Rowdy, which is like it's like our Wild 'N Out basically. So Dylan is obviously the producer and the host of the show, and there's a game called Dissing Booth. So obviously you're sitting in the box part of the back line, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for somebody to come up and they hit me with like a 2 or 3 bar roast, and then I hit them with one back. Whoever gets the biggest oohs, wins. So I mean, if you don't mind that, putting some of the nefarious behavior a beat, you got it.
There's definitely some. I'm in a roast in Kansas City, November 9th. You know what I'm talking
Plug it
about?
up. Plug it in, bro.
Yeah, November 9th. And then I'm headlining in Wichita, November 8th. So I'm doing that late.
Wichita,
Kansas. Headlining that Barleycorns. And then I'm going to Kansas City and I'm doing that roast. I'm probably going to lose the roast. What you shaking your head for, man? What you doing back here? What you doing, man? What you doing out here, man? What you doing?
Waiting to roast you behind the scenes.
What y'all doing? What y'all having phone sex? Oh, it's the mic.
Oh.
Why you didn't say nothing, man? We live, man. You gotta say something. Oh, man, the
Tape fell off. Just throw it over your shoulder.
Oh, man, just throw it over there. I know he's mad back there. I know he was like, man, I told him not to lean too far, man.
I blame Daddy for it.
Man, that's that 8-pack, man. I've been working on it, man.
No, that's
Every time
right.
I'm stretching,
No, it's
man.
Those Goombas getting you right.
Is it
Just
good?
Luigi, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
We'll do it live.
All right.
Do it live.
Okay. So, yeah, you can always say something, man. It don't matter, man. You can interrupt, man. This is, you don't got to be over there talking to him. He can talk to me. I'm just playing. I'm playing, man. I'm playing. I'm wilding a little bit because Mike ain't here, man. I'm used to Mike being here, man. It hurt my feelings, man. I'm going to text him. Like, hey, man, where was you at, BFF? I'm going to text him when I get out.
Not the BFF with the heart emoji.
No.
Okay.
So
with the Taylor Swift hands. That's what it's gonna be.
no, that's like texting another guy K. No, it's not about to happen. Like it's not. You come through? Yeah. Okay. Like it's just
Okay. No, I got a question though. What's everybody looking forward to before the end of the year? I mean, the end of this year kind of crept up on us, and I mean, have we kind of hit our comedy goals? Like, where we going?
I saw a meme that said, "Oh man, October's already over, and it's been like 5 minutes. That means Christmas is gonna be here in a few hours."
Chris, I can hear Mariah Carey right now. She's thawing out.
Because I went to Costco, like I said the other day, and it's already got like the snow globes up, all the trees. You're like,
they just skip Thanksgiving, though. Ain't that wild?
Every time.
Not me.
They just skip. They
Coming over your house for Thanksgiving. Coming over your house for Thanksgiving. Coming over your house. Coming over his house.
The Puritans sucked.
Oh dang.
I hate the Puritans. They were idiots. They complained about how brutal. Well, not the Puritans, not the ones in Massachusetts, but the assholes who went to Jamestown. Those little English No, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hold on.
dirty mouth.
Her production is like, we got some work to do after this.
I ain't gonna never talk to her girl ever again. I'm gonna friend her as soon as I get out of here. But she got all leaned into it. She's serious.
Gabby Untamed.
Let me sit back. Let me sit back. You can do your thing. Do your thing.
They thought that Weller in Virginia was so brutal that they just died by the droves. Also because malaria, because they deserve the malaria because.
I learned something.
I don't like.
Today.
I did too.
Yeah, I'm
This
never.
sweet-looking strawberry shortcake dropped the F-bomb.
Yeah,
That's what I learned.
I'm
today.
never talking to her again. That's what I learned.
I said fluffers in the ad.
Yeah, like,
You got it. You caught yourself.
Who is this, man? Like, she definitely knew, and she's about to be old real quick, man.
This is Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby.
I
Gabby.
said about Franklin Pierce and why he's hot and he also sucks, but he's hot. So you know what? I don't feel bad about objectifying him because he was an asshole.
When's your next show? Since we all on the subject.
Well, there's one on Halloween, but by the time this comes out, that won't matter.
It might. You never know. We might try to cut.
Yeah, where else you gonna be?
We can rewind back.
I'm in the Clash coming up.
Oh, what you doing?
You in the Clash? Sheesh.
Okay, you got some winners. You got some winners up
There we
here,
go.
man. You got some
I'm gonna have to bite my tongue not to cuss.
Yeah, that's gonna be. Wait a minute, the Clash is in November.
Oh golly.
Yeah, it's in November. No, yeah, it's in November.
I like how she dropped the F-bomb, or almost dropped the F-bomb before fixing it, but oh golly, like that.
Oh geez. Was that me?
Golly gee whiz.
Oopsies.
So then that lends to my question. How, like, what is your style of comedy? I've never seen your comedy, Gabby. So how do you are you more raunchy, or are you just kind of it comes out if it comes out?
I like to make fun. Get rid of that.
Which I have to ask you about the Puritans. That's what we're getting at.
That's what.
Do the set about the Puritans.
That's what.
Look.
Go ahead. My bad. I'm thinking about my brother right now.
Oh, sorry.
About that.
Golly.
She whiz.
Did I do that?
I talk a lot about history. I like to mock the stupid parts of history, and also I don't know. I just think there is so much in history that is really, really stupid.
There's a lot of stupid things.
Also, I think it's important to take figures like George Washington and humanize them and be like, look, he wasn't a god. He was a very flawed and an extremely flawed individual.
They all were.
Georgie over there, he had some sins on that book. Including his dentures, dear God.
Yeah.
History.
Thomas Jefferson, not great.
Oh, he sucked.
Madison, not great.
No.
John Adams, none of them.
Yeah, it's always kind of that funny thing, right? Like being somebody who appreciates history myself, like it's always kind of funny when people say, well, if I were there, I wouldn't have done that. It's like history says that's not accurate.
Yeah,
we get really stupid about a lot of things.
I heard that a lot too. Like if I would did this, if I was there, I would have said, your ass would have done nothing. I'd be talking to my brothers about this. Like, you wouldn't have done
I
nothing.
would have punched Hitler in the face.
No.
And society says you probably would have appreciated the things he was saying at the time.
That's like historically, according to your family, it shows that you come from a lineage of people who liked him. Okay, so have a seat, sir.
Yeah.
I would have followed Harriet Tubman.
Really? I probably would have too. That was like a long journey, man.
It do, man. I'm out of shape. I probably would have been like, you know what?
Y'all go on, man.
Y'all go on, man. I think being a slave is cool.
I probably would have chased her.
What the heck?
History says I probably would have chased her, so it just is.
I probably would have turned into Django, man. You know what I mean? If somebody would have tried me like that
Really?
back in the day. Probably, man.
Okay.
But we don't know, because, I mean, look, we all sitting here. We all together, man. And this is what it's
That's the
about.
beauty of the digital age, man. We get to have all this information at our fingertips, and we have to have these conversations.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Truth is often much stranger than fiction, and I like to bring that out and be like, okay, guys, Franklin Pierce, total hottie, but he did suck.
Yeah. So
This went from beyond the laughter to beyond the history. I mean, they got all serious for a minute. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, damn. man, this got
real
serious.
quick, since we're in the closing moments, what got you into stand-up? And then I want to talk to you about the improv.
For sure.
So what got you into that?
I saw Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Oh,
The
that's a
TV
good show.
show?
That's a
Okay.
good
I
show.
was like, I could do
It
that.
was pretty good.
It was written by a bunch of stand-ups, actually. A bunch of
Yeah.
stand-ups and
Yeah.
writers that do all that. If you haven't seen it, it's a fantastic
It's
show.
so good.
I gotta see.
got
I
some
never seen
homework.
it.
So good.
It's
I got some homework
Except
to do.
maybe the last season's a little falls off in the last season. But
Say
the
it.
first
Say
couple seasons.
what's the show one more time?
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
It's
Really
set
good.
back in like what, the 40s,
50s.
50s? Okay, I was gonna say the 50s.
Late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, and she's trying to start into stand-up after, life issues and all that stuff. I don't want to ruin the show. It's a fantastic
It's
show.
so good.
And you kind of see just how society was, especially with a woman that would be going up and saying and doing the things that she was doing.
Oh, good for her.
That's a great inspiration. So with you said that you do stand up, but your foot is in on improv.
Yeah,
where does that inspiration come from?
Man, you know what? I just always felt like I had this innate thing to perform at a very young age. But it took a while for me to really come into that because I didn't really come from like a family of performers. And this is not necessarily a bad thing at all. Some families breed that, some don't. But when I hit my early to mid 20s, I tried stand up for a little bit. I have another job in broadcast journalism and esports. So like talking on camera was like something I'd always been really, really good at. But then I thought, okay, I'm traveling, creating all this content for other people. I want to work on myself. Like, how do I get better? So I took some improv classes here, and I also took some out in New Jersey and New York for a while. And then I came back home because I did the whole like, I'm gonna go to New York thing. And then of course, New York just puts you on your butt and you're like going back home.
Reality sets in, yeah.
But then I'm like, how can I bring a little piece of that performance-wise back home? And that's when I reached out to Dylan, and Dylan was like, yeah, we do a hip-hop improv thing. Did we never tell you? And I was like, no. But I guess we never met under those circumstances. He always asked me to do stand-up. And so we came, did a show in Zip Zopera. We do 2 shows. We do one called, 3 technically. Zip Zopera, Once Upon a Rhyme, and then Getting Rowdy. And all of them are all the same things. And it's great, just rapping and being goofy.
Make sure that y'all check those out.
Check the socials, man. Drop the socials. Drop your socials.
Oh, I'm Gabby in the Globe on Instagram and TikTok.
Not Emily.
Not Emily, Gabby. Gabby's in a Y.
Drop your socials.
Puritans do not follow her.
The-
My socials at Rodney Conyers Jr. RODNEY CONYERS JR. You can also follow Zip Zopera, spelled exactly how it sounds, and Once Upon a Rhyme.
All right, and you want to drop anything?
Hey, man, just come out and see me or don't. I don't care.
I go see this guy.
We're not gonna see this dude get beat up again, man. Y'all have a great night, man. This has been Beyond the Lab. To give it up, man. We appreciate y'all, man.
Thank
It's
you.
Luigi
Thank
Vegas, baby.
No. Yippee!
Vegas.